Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another recommendations video, but this time it's summer edition. I feel like summertime is when a lot of us do most of our reading, so I wanted to pop in and get you guys some good recs so your summer reading can be awesome. So all of these are books that I have read and really enjoyed that I thought would be perfect for the summer months. Obviously read whatever whenever you want, but I feel like these books especially hit the hardest in the summer. First off, the book that I reread every single summer now, we have Beach Read by Emily Henry. This is probably like such a basic recommendation, but if you take one thing from this video, take this book because it was so good. I feel like this one isn't as heavy on like 100 degrees beachy summer weather, but I mean it is centered in the summertime and it's just an amazing book with a lot of depth to it. It is your classic rom-com romance, but there is tons of depth to this and the characters are just so developed and there's so much going on more than just the romance. So I thought this would be perfect for the summertime because it's not just a fluffy book, but there's also depth to it. You get both. This one is a 5-star read for me. I am on my third time reading this book, so third summer reading this. Beach Read follows Gus and January, and they're both kind of struggling authors. They're in this like small town and they happen to be neighbors, and they're like, hey, what if we switch genres because we're both struggling, maybe it could shake something up. So they do that, and just know it's more than that. Definitely pick this up this summer or literally any day. Another book that I am going to see myself rereading every summer is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This is another one of those books that has more depth to it, so if you want a romance with more depth and just deeper characters, a connection that you will like feel in your soul and more than just the romance in the story, pick up Abby Jimenez or Emily Henry books. Either one of those authors is perfect for that vibe, I guess. How Emma and Justin meet, it's kind of this funny way through Reddit. Like, I don't want to give it away because it's so funny, like you have to read it and see for yourself, but so they meet through Reddit and then they end up happening to be in the same place. They're like, hey, maybe we should link up. And so they do, and just the story is so amazing because both of the characters have a lot of stuff to get through on their own, so you get to see them grow as individuals but also together. And I really enjoy this because there is so much going on other than just the romance, and that is my favorite thing in books, when there's like a lot of plot. Kind of a complete 180 is we have the Dial A for Aunties series. I literally finished this today. This is the third book in the Dial A for Aunties series. I love this series so much. It is just the epitome of a fun time. I feel like this would be perfect for a vacation because it's so fast paced and just fun. It follows our main girl Madeline and her aunties, and in the first book you follow her when she accidentally murders her date. So the aunties help her deal with that, and it is just so funny and you will fall in love with this family. It is so fun learning about them and how they work together and about just her whole family history, their traditions and everything. There is little romance in this and such a good time. It is hilarious. That's all I'm gonna say. It's like a cozy mystery, so like it's not scary, but there is some mystery stuff going on. For a fantasy, we have the Prison Healer trilogy. I just kind of thought this one would be a good one for the summertime because I tried not to think of like super dark fantasies, but this one is still a good time. So it follows our main girl Kiva. She is the prison healer, so she is at this like super deadly prison and she's not getting out. So the rebel queen gets brought in and is set to compete in these challenges, but the rebel queen is super sick, so Kiva takes her place and does these challenges. And I really enjoyed this because I thought this book was just super twisty turny and I didn't see a lot of this stuff coming. I also really enjoyed the characters in this book. I will say though, the like trial aspect isn't as heavy as I thought it would be, but that didn't bother me because I loved the characters so much. I was so invested no matter what. Okay, I just finished the first Good Girl's Guide to Murder book last month. This month they're blurring together at this point, but I really enjoyed this. I feel like it's perfect for the summertime because it's such an addicting read where you have to put it down, and in the summertime I feel like you want more like a catching read that's going to keep your attention for a long time. So I will definitely be finishing the rest of the series in the summer months. But this follows our main girl Pip, and she is working on her senior class project, and for that she kind of decides to solve a murder that happened in the town a while ago. She's doing that, so it's like a kind of a mystery book. It's not super scary. There is kind of some like darker parts, but it's not like a scary mystery, which I love. Like, I love a good whodunit, and that is what this is. Pip is just such a smart character, so it's so fun to follow along with her, and I loved it so much. So I definitely recommend this one. And then we have The Rule Book by Sarah Adams. This wasn't my favorite book, but I still feel like like it was a fun time for the summer, and I feel like all of her other books too. I feel like I've talked about them in other recommendations videos, so I kind of wanted to talk about a new one instead, but all of her other books are perfect for summer and I loved all of her other books. But this one was kind of my least favorite. I don't know why. I feel like some people still might really enjoy it. This is about an NFL player, a famous NFL player, and his ex-college girlfriend. They end up crossing paths again and kind of rekindling something, and they basically get forced to be in each other's lives again. So you're following them trying to mend their past while also a future. I did enjoy this. It is super cute. Sarah Adams' books are just cheesy, not really much spice to them. It's just fun reading with her books. So I'd recommend this if you want just like a fun time, but it may not be something that will stick with you forever. The Queen, Emily Henry. This is her newest release, funny story. It came out just a few months ago, so I think it's just perfect for the summertime. It's not necessarily like that summer vibe, like beach, town, whatever, but it is still such a fun time because it's so hooking and you will love the characters so much. So it follows Daphne and Miles. It's kind of confusing to explain, but basically they kind of get pushed together after both of their exes form a relationship. So basically Daphne's ex and Miles's ex are dating now, so they kind of get pushed together and they deal with that together. It sounds confusing and kind of weird, but I promise you it's not, and it's such a fun story and you will love these characters so much. And again, with this one there's a lot of depth to it and not just the romance in the story, so I feel like this is good for the summer since there is a lot going on. And I really thought the town kind of gave summery vibes because there's lots of just like super sweet people in the town and friends and everything and drama, so I really enjoyed this one. Another fantasy, we have Powerless by Lauren Roberts. This is such a popular recommendation, but I feel like it is perfect for the summertime because it's just like a fun fantasy. Like there's not a ton of darkness going on. There still is, but it's not like gory and guts and war and all of that. So this follows our main girl Peyton, and she has no powers in a world where everyone is supposed to have powers. So she's kind of hiding that because they're supposed to get, you know, like taken out back if they have no powers. But one day she gets set to be in this challenge and she really has to hide that she has no powers because it is at the palace, and if the king finds out, she's done for basically. So she's fighting in this challenge, which is basically like the Hunger Games. I thought it was very similar to the Hunger Games, so if you really like the Hunger Games, this is a book for you. There's romance in this book. The romance is everyone's favorite. Definitely recommend this book. It is a great time, and I think the second one's coming out this summer actually, so this is the perfect time to read this book. Also, a little novella just came out of this world this spring, so definitely a good time to pick this up. I also just finished this book this week. We have This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. I read her first book, or like the first book that she had that got really popular, Every Summer After. I didn't really love it. I skipped her second book that came out last year, and then I read this one because I'd heard pretty good things. I ended up giving it a 3-star because it just wasn't a favorite for me. I just feel like her books, for me at least, may have some issues, but they still could be enjoyable. This one was pretty enjoyable. It follows our main girl Lucy and Felix, and the setting for this one was really good. I really enjoyed it. It's Prince Edward Island it's set on, but it was such a fun time because it starts off, they kind of have a thing happen, and Lucy doesn't know that Felix is her best friend's brother. So they find out that, hey, Felix is my best friend's brother, and then she's like, oh crap, yeah, we can't be together. So you follow them. It kind of takes you through their whole relationship history, like 5 years to now, and you just follow what's going on with them. I just honestly didn't really connect with the characters a ton with this one, but it was still such a good and vibey read. I really enjoyed it for what it was. I thought it was a perfect audiobook too. I was just listening to it while I was doing some chore stuff, work stuff, and it was fine. It was completely fine. It did what it needed to do, entertaining, fun. There is some other plot aspects that were pretty fun and entertaining, but also kind of anticlimactic. Still a fun time, still definitely recommend for this season. And then we have Flawless by Elsie Silver. This is another book that I personally didn't absolutely love, but a lot of people do, and I feel like it fits the summer vibe literally perfectly. Okay, this follows Summer and Rhett. not for sure, but he is basically a professional bull rider, which this book kind of sent me down a rabbit hole of obsessing over rodeos and bull riding. So I loved that, but it is set in this small town that is so cute. Actually, I don't know if it's technically a small town, but the vibes give small town. I really loved this because I thought the bull riding rodeo aspect just gave the summer vibe, because I see a lot of TikToks and it's like, I can't remember what state it was, but it's like this state in the summer and it's all like rodeos, bull riding, cowboy boots, all of that. So I really enjoyed this because the vibes were so good. This is kind of a more like spicy physical romance, I would say. So if that's not really your thing, I'd still say give it a chance, because I didn't really love the romance in this, but I did love the vibes so much. I thought it was so much fun. The ending kind of went crazy, I'm not gonna lie. So I'd still recommend picking it up even if the romance isn't for you necessarily, because I still had a great time and I think about this book very frequently because of just the vibes it gave. So I feel like that's perfect for the summer. Like maybe if you're going to like a smaller town to see family or something this summer, bring this book to romanticize it. And then this book I read for, I want to say, reading underhyped books for a week last summer. This isn't something that really stuck with me, but I did really enjoy it and I thought it was super fun for the summertime. I think they go to the UK for school for the summer, I think, and they kind of get sent on this like scavenger hunt journey throughout the United Kingdom, and I thought that was so fun because I love like silly little plots like that, especially the UK setting. I loved that so much. It was so cool. And there's kind of just a little competition aspect, like who can find the most whatever it is. So I thought this was fun. This is just like a fun time, easy book. It may not stick with you forever, but it was still such a fun time. It's a good palate cleanser in that sense because it's just a great time and it'll get you motivated to read again. I also read Float by Kate Marchant. This was a Wattpad book. We support Wattpad authors because I was a Wattpad girly hard. But this follows our main girl and she basically gets sent from Alaska to Florida to live with her aunt, I think it is. And there's a neighbor boy. We all know where that's going. So I'm pretty sure the neighbor boy just kind of welcomes her into his group and a summer fling happens basically. But then she's like, oh my gosh, wait, I have to go back to Alaska. This book was just a fun vibey time. They do lots of summer activities because hey, she's from Alaska and then gets transported to Florida. It was just a fun time. I feel like I really liked the friendships in this book and thought they were super good and cute. And then we have probably one of my favorite like summer books, The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther. I will talk about this any chance I get because I had such a blast reading this. Like this is probably my favorite like hardcore summer book I've ever read. This follows our main girl Meredith, and every summer her family goes to Martha's Vineyard to celebrate. This year everyone in the family is going for a wedding, and also every year they play a game of assassin. So they try and take each other out in the game, and I thought that aspect was so much fun in this book because it was just such like a lighthearted plot line where it got super fun and entertaining. I loved it. There is romance in this book. I thought the romance was cute actually. I did enjoy it. This book was just such a fun time and the vibes of being on Martha's Vineyard were impeccable and I loved it so much. I can't say enough good things about this book. We also have Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch. This book, this is a trilogy. I think all three books have different settings that are all really good. This one's Tuscany, Italy. Who wouldn't want to have an Italian summer? I mean, really. So this book, our main girl Lena, she kind of goes to Italy, and when she's there, her mom is either from Italy or was just there a lot. Okay, I'm sorry about the change and whatever. I'm back. So, Love and Gelato, this book follows our main girl who goes to Italy, and in Italy, I think it's like a journal that her mom kept while she was in Italy. So she's kind of just like following in her mom's steps in Italy because I think her mom passed or something. So yeah, there is some romance in this, and it's just a cute book, and I love this setting. And if you're not having an Italian summer, you can vicariously live through it in this book. And then we have Our Final Love Song by N.S. Perkins. This book was pretty good to me. I really enjoy the like time loop trope, which that is what this is. These two people are in a struggling relationship, Jamie and Emma. They're headed to this like summer camp, and when they get there, they're like, this is like the camp experience we had 5 years ago or something. Like they're transported into a different camp like 2 years ago that they already lived. So they're like, ooh, what do we have to do to get back, you know? So it's kind of like you're seeing if they can fix their relationship and also them trying to get out of the time loop. This is fun for me. I know time time loops aren't everyone's thing, but they're my thing. And also this book was really short and easy to read in a cute time, and the summer camp setting you cannot beat. And then we have Alex Approximately. I really need to reread this one this year because I loved it so much. Bailey and Alex, they were talking online and they haven't met in person. They don't know like what each other looks like, but one day Bailey moves to Alex's town and she doesn't want to tell him that she's there. She kind of wants to uncover who he is without that. So you get that aspect. And also I remember they worked at this like museum thing or something like that, and that was really fun to read about. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed this one. I love like the trope of like, ooh, who am I talking to online? Oh my gosh, it's so and so. I really want to reread this year because it was so much fun and I loved it. Also, this cover is one of my favorite covers ever. And then we have It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. This is the only series by Tessa Bailey I've read, and honestly I really enjoyed this series. I actually think about this book very frequently, and I think it's like the only book I've ever underlined something in. Do I remember what it was? No. So this is about our main girl Piper, and she's like a social media girly, like high maintenance, like, you know, city girl. And her dad sent her to this small fishing town, and enter the main guy Brendan, who is a fisherman. Didn't know I had a thing for fishermen. I just like the trope of like someone not from the small town goes into the small town, and then you just have a lot of character development in those books. So I really liked this one, and I really liked the couple in this. I want to reread this too. You guys, I genuinely feel bad for even talking about this with like how many other people on the internet talk about it. The Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy. This is the epitome of summer, like the summer feeling. I have reread these last 2 years, I think. I did it when I was sick over the summer because this is like the perfect vibe for that because they're so quick and entertaining that I literally was able to read like 2 books in one day. If you don't know what this is about, it's about our main girl Belly, and every summer her and her family go to this beach house on Cousins Beach with their family friends, and the family friends have 2 sons, Jeremiah and Conrad, and it's a love triangle. That's that. This just will make you feel all of the summer vibes because the vibes in this are incredible. I don't have a lake house even close. This will make you wish you had a lake house, let me just say that, or beach house, whatever. But yeah, I think that's all the books I have for you guys. If you have any good summer recs, please leave them down below and we can chat about them down in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.